type in first. Always want to welcome new subscribers. Disclosures are very important. Please read them. Trading stock and options involve risk, not suitable for everyone. You must be aware of the risk and be willing to accept it in order to invest in current market conditions. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not registered with FINRA nor SEC. I'm showing you what I do in my own account based on my own risk tolerance level. For general education information purposes only, please consult your financial advisor prior to making any trading decisions. All right, our goal is to become a disciplined trader. It requires repetition. So for those of you who are, write down the rules and have a pre-market checklist before you place a trade. So that's very important to make it a repeatable process so you can build confidence in yourself as a trader. In terms of models, one of the main difference between Tradespoon, Yellow Tunnel, and some of the other services that are out there, right? We're running both Tradespoon and Yellow Tunnel. That we have used signals in the market, and then we use these signals to trade. We use these signals to trade. So model basically shows that the momentum right now is deteriorating, right? Bulls are unable to make new highs. But we're staying close to all-time highs. October started on the volatile note. And market is trading between 575 and 563. That's what the model predicted. We were as low as 565. So model is doing a good job determining what the key support and resistance levels are. And for the next 10 days, you can expect on the upside maybe get as high as 580. We do have an unemployment data, right? Let's look at the next catalyst in the market. So manufacturing data came in slightly worse than expected, right? Job openings continues to deteriorate. People looking for a new job, for the quits rate, right? Quits rate is very low, right? People are not looking for a new job, so kind of a cooling job market. ADP employment was better than expected. So ADP employment get kind of mixed signals between ADP employment and people looking for the new positions. But the main event would be unemployment data on Friday. Unemployment data on Friday. So that's kind of the next trigger. And then we have earnings season. Earnings season starting second week of October, and then elections. So those are the main catalysts. So far, 10-year yield has been stable, right? If you look at the 10-year yield, it's really not going anywhere. It's been spending most of its time below 3.8, oversold, but still pattern of lower lows, long highs. So that's bullish for the market. VIX is elevated, right? We jumped to 20. We're still at, we're at 20 today as well. So people are nervous with the escalation in geopolitical events in Middle East. It's an unfortunate situation. We have strikes in ports, right? So a lot of the imports, it's affecting potentially, depending on how long the strike is, can impact the prices, import prices and prices of goods. So that's creating uncertainty in the market. So we're at VIX is 19 level. Spiders, right? We kind of retested, made marginal low today, 565. So that's a breakout level, right? 565. So I would look at that level in terms of positioning on spiders. Let's look at that. So yeah, so we have 560 in terms of gamma, right? Positioning, $500 million. So, and then 550. So main support is 560. So 565 to, there's overhead now at for now, I think between 570 and 560. This is where a lot of the gamma is. And based on estimated move, you can see 568 and 563. We can do estimated move this Friday, 10-4 and 10-9. Questions? Then 18, and then monthly 11.15. So for next week, expected move is around 5.6. So 5.60, we've seen 5.70 is also where there's open interest, high open interest. Okay. So 570 is overhead resistance short term. 565 is your first support where you tested this. So it's important to keep that level because if it drops, I mean, you do have support at 560, but most likely 550 is in the next data point. Right, so you have a high position at 560 and then 550. Actually, 560 is pretty large open interest, 560 and then 550. But still, total gamma is still pretty small. It's actually getting up there. It's increasing. So now it's close to $7 billion for October expiration. Any questions on positioning and spiders? Yen, right? Let's look at yen. Yen stable, right? The Nikkei is stable. Yen is also US dollar rallying. So that's good, right? We're not making new lows, kind of still oversold, but trading in the range. So that's positive for the market. Bitcoin had a strong rally, tried to break this downtrend, kind of reverse down back to 200-day moving average. But 200-day moving average looks like it's holding for Bitcoin. China, right? We do have this vertical moves in China that continues to be the trade. Kind of unprecedented volumes similar to here, back to March 22. So we're right at the 2022 high, or close to 2022 high, January 3rd. So basically recovered all of the losses since January of 22. So that's China. Probably overbought short term, but still very strong price action on the additional stimulus conversations. Any questions on Brad, Fred, Alon? Any questions? Okay. So in terms of trades, let's review the trades from today. So I'm trying to close regional financial, right? This is one position I have. Still, away, but regional financial has been volatile. I think it's still maintaining the uptrend, but you can see it's been volatile and facing a lot of overhead resistance. 24. Now we're going into earnings. In October 24th. This is a November position, so I still have time. Nike. This is the iron condor. Got close to the strike, to the 80 strike. Right, we're talking about Nike. Let's look at the gamma exposure for Nike. So high open interest was at 80, and high open interest was at yesterday at 95 and 100. That gamma is gone. we'll still have the open interest, but obviously it's not moving in that direction. But there's still now large position at 80, right? There's large position at 80. I mean, a relatively large position at 75. So it could gravitate toward that strike, right? So I do have a put spread butterfly. It's 80. So I'm trying to close 80.75 put spread. Going to break the butterfly into two. It's an 80 strike. We're still kind of away from the 80 strike. Session low is 81.77. If we look at the extended hour session, I mean, the lows was 81. So 81, and that's actually the 81.77 is the session low, if you exclude the extended hours after the earnings announcement. So it's a pretty large move to the downside, but not to the estimated move. Not to the estimated move. We still have Thursday. We still have Friday. So for now, I mean, it's trading at 10 cents. It was trading at 20 cents. Brad, back from Europe. Welcome back. Catching up with the markets. Very good. Thank you. Welcome back. Brad, welcome. So that's the Nike trade. So for now, I mean, I have 2 days, but you know, a lot less time now left. 3M, right? These are the trades from the active trader. You can find them in aggressive power trader. You know, the short trade ideas today was KMI, right? The energy, gas, oil have a strong rally on Middle East tensions and, you know, potential widening of the conflict in Middle East, and Simon Property Group. REITs has been also in a strong uptrend. So those are the signals on daily basis. You can find them here. You know, every day you can find the signals. Same thing on Tradespoon. You can find them under active trader. Sometimes there's more in yellow tunnel. So those are the signals. So one of them, Triple M, it's actually in Profit Accelerator as well. Triple M is one of the positions that I'm managing. So I did trim, was able to catch 1% gain. It's pulled back. Triple M pulled back, but still exhibit, you know, very strong uptrend on the daily chart. I mean, obviously could pull back to the 50-day moving average. I'd probably be a buyer. Depends on what's going on in the market, but for now, I'm just waiting and see if this level will or will not hold. So trimmed half of the position, Triple M. I believe I'm out of eBay. Triple M, I still have half of the position. eBay, I'm actually out from the entire position. Right? You know, originally I thought it was just going to trade sideways, so I did the diagonal, sold that short put several times. But eBay has been signal. I see it as a signal several times. So I went long, and eBay continues to trade high, 1665. So before the earnings, I'm not sure if it will be able to escape the 65 strike. Let's see if it's still there. Yeah. The 65 strike is still pretty well positioned, so it kind of acts as a magnet right now. And these are the 4 expiration, the weeklies and the monthlies. So 65 is kind of the magnet. I mean, Probably, obviously would buy on a pullback. If it pulls back to 62, 61, I think that would be a buying opportunity again. And we talked about Triple M. Out of JP Morgan, spread lost half of the value and still in Meta. Right, so let's review so these are the recent trades, positions. We talked about eBay, I still have that put left. LLY, Lilly. Pull back. I mean, I would be a buyer to pull back. It did drop 50-day moving average, which is bearish. Obviously, that opens the door to, 842. Right, this 842 is probably your first support. So we just need to watch. So for now, I'm not adding. I'm kind of waiting for stabilization. But it broke to a 50-day moving average. So short term, it's in trouble. Short term, it's in trouble. In terms of positioning, not a very liquid name, so I'm not sure how much position there. Spread out. Small position, 9 million, 2 million. Kind of spread out evenly. I don't see any big. Yeah, so 850 and 870 are your support levels. 850 to 870. Yeah, so it's the 50-day move. It's the gap. 850 is the gap after the earnings. So we're close to that gap. That's usually a good entry point. So maybe at 840, 850 is where it makes sense to add for LLA. We talked about Meta. Meta continues to outperform momentum stocks. It did break out from the 540 and continues to trade higher. So I'm bullish on Meta. Talked about Nike. I do have a QQQ put spread. It did lose more than half of its value. It's the only hedge I have, so I'm hesitant of closing because we do have unemployment data. That could be a negative surprise. There's escalation in the Middle East. October before the elections is usually bearish time to trade, to be overly long. So I think for now I'm holding QQQ. It's underperforming. It did break through this downtrend, almost retested all-time highs, but it's been pulling back, right? It's pulling back, and next level is 50-day moving average, right around 475 level. So for now, I have a QQQ put spread. We talked about regional financials. Also pulled back to the 50-day moving average, but so far still in strong uptrend. Silver is a good proxy. SH, small position. If you're not comfortable hedging QQQ put spread, you can buy SH as a hedge. And then silver. So overall, I'm still bullish. Most of my positions are bullish, but I'm not very aggressive keeping the cash. If on average you're 30% portfolio in cash, maybe now it should be 40%. Silver is a proxy for China, knocking on the doors of multi-year, multi-decade highs, right? So it broke through the 2021 high, and it's sitting at this level back to 2013. So it's been, over 10 years since silver been at this level, but it's still unable. It's consolidated, unable to break out. I think it will break. It's just a matter of time. Not sure exactly what the catalyst is, but maybe during the election, after the elections, that usually could be a positive. All right, more and more people joining. Orlando, Bob, I'm glad you made it. Thank you. Bob, Brad, Fred, Koo is back. All right, you guys are slowly joining. I was worried about being alone with our YouTube guys. Thank you for watching. A few people watching on YouTube. That's good. All right. So these are positions. don't know if you guys were there last time I went, but elections are actually interesting. That usually October is pretty bearish for elections, right? So we have 2024 elections, and before that was 2020 elections, right? The 3 weeks of October was pretty bearish, and then the rally resumed in November after the elections. So that's 2020, 2016. It's irrelevant, red or blue, right? 2016, same price action, right? So these are weekly chart. Each candlestick is weeks. Then November is when the rally starts. 2012, I think, is the same thing. I really haven't seen many exceptions. So it's in October of 2020, 2012. Well, 2008 was a financial crisis, so that's not a good. But 2004. Same thing, yeah. First 3 weeks down, and then last week of October, and once the earnings season starts and elections are approaching, then you have kind of a breakout. What about 2000? Well, that's so that's probably not the best example. Oh, actually, October was flat or slightly bullish, then it pulled back. But this is part of the .com bubble. Okay. So it makes sense to be kind of cautiously optimistic. Just see what happens. We will need new lows this week, so this 565 is obviously an important level to hold on to. Bob Eric, all right, very good. Telecom. Thank you for sharing. Any other questions? Germany CPI data come in weaker than expected. The economy is slowing down, so you do have a pullback in Germany. Energy and Middle East crisis, escalation of war. Also have a sharp move in XLE and crude oil. Small caps pulled back to the 50-day moving average, retesting 50-day moving average. So it's been weaker. Nvidia today up 2%, so I was able to hold on to the 50-day moving average. And Nike is still trading in the range. All right, let's see. I think there was another earnings. One second. Close. Levi Strauss, not very liquid name. Thursday before and after. Constellation Brands. Not very liquid name. CCO. It's not really good earnings on Carnival Cruise. Sharp pullback. STZ. It's a pretty large price and not a lot of volume. I do like energy KMI, NAS. So KMI continues to grind higher, oil and gas pipelines. It's a good, great looking chart. Energy exposure. But you definitely can see that it continues to grind higher. The breakout is around 22 level. 5% stop loss KMI, so you can put that trade on. Trade stock KMI. So in terms of stop level, usually I want to be conservative. You have support at 22, 28, but bigger support that goes to the breakout level is at 22 level. 22 level, 90 cents, that's 5% stop loss. Right? KMI is a volatile stock. So if it's down $1, you don't want to be down more than $100 on $10,000 account, right? In the Profit Accelerator and some of the other position signals, the idea is not to risk 2.5% of account value per positions. And market is overbought, right? It could pull back. So you want to make sure that, I use dollar cost average. So if I have $10,000 account, 1% risk, right? If you're very aggressive, I guess you can use 22.30. If you're a little bit more conservative like I am, then I would use 22. So you can buy 100 shares, right? 100 shares. If it's down. On a $10,000 account. And then same thing, I would use maybe sell half of the shares, right? And look maybe for 2% move, which would be 40 cents, 23.30. And sell the other half of the shares. Look, maybe 4%, right? So maybe 23.30. For now, I put 23.40. 23.30. 4% would be 88.90. Okay, 24, 23.80. 23.80. So that's KMI. Right, if you want to have exposure to energy and oil is oversold, KMI continues to go higher, then that would be the trade. Got into CCJ again through the CCJ. Yeah, nuclear energy is back, right? The AI, the idea that AI needs a lot of electricity, and we're short on electricity, and some of the nuclear energy plants are back in the news, and CCJ is back in the news, right? Pretty strong recovery, got above 50-day moving average, got above 200-day moving average, above the neckline, right? Kind of confirmed breakout. I mean, it's a good trade. I like it. Thanks, Bob. BSX, no pullback. BSX has been strong signal. I mean, it's consolidated. It's not really, hasn't gone anywhere in the past couple of weeks, but obviously a strong chart. Strong chart. Lily, you're right. I mean, it's a bigger pullback. Humana is in the news today, right? They got on the compensation, but this is a sharp pullback. It was close to 20%, recovered half of the losses. I'm surprised you're in sympathy. It has less exposure to Medicare. Ted is here. Wow, everybody's here. That's great. Ted, cool, Brad, Fred, Bob, Alon. Any questions? And we have more people on YouTube too. All right. Going through risk management is very important, right? I encourage you in all of our services, we put down that don't risk more than 2.5% of account value. Split the trades into two, right? Entry one, entry two. Trades like KMI, you couldn't wait for previous close. Trade drops by, here we always use 50 cents. Then potentially, 10 cents, right? So 0.5%. So if it drops 0.5%, 1%, this is 0.5%. Then potentially use the second entry. If it's down to 1%, if it's down 22 cents, then consider exiting the trade. We're putting like this buffer. These are just estimates, right? Sometimes it doesn't reach those levels, so you have to make your own decision. Right now, it's actually, if I traded this in the morning, probably would have got a better price, right? So if I traded this morning, it would have been a better. All right, any questions? But usually, yeah, you wait 15 minutes. So here, October, right? You wait 5, 10, 15, right? If you don't see pullback, then you would enter. It did pull back, but it's still pattern of higher highs, higher lows. Right in Baidu, Nantias just sold my Baba. On one hand, we've heard this story before, right? Where China is doing these stimulus, right? Large stimulus, and last one was October of 23, right? We had a huge rally, then it pulled back. Sorry, FX. Right, so this year we had a huge rally. 22 was a rally, sold off. But the volume is extreme, right? You have extreme volume up, very high call interest, and it cleared this overhead resistance of 35, or at least trading at that 35. So it looks like, the next level is 40. Right, the next level is 40. That would be the 2022 high. So I think there is more room to continue going higher in China. But obviously, they need the macroeconomic data has to improve, which we haven't seen. This is just a very large stimulus, and everybody's excited on the volume. But so just pure price action, this is very strong bullish momentum. And I think that will continue. Obviously, there's always geopolitical risks. There are risks that their macroeconomic data is not going to improve. But for now, as long as it's above 3250, I think it's just higher highs, higher lows. Right, you do have this breakout. You can use other proxies like silver has been acting well, wind reserve, right? This kind of China proxy, copper, right? Strong price action in copper. So there are other ways to play China exposure. Credit put spread, yeah. Any bullish strategy, credit put spread is one of the bullish strategies. So I think selling put spread on FXI. Here, the idea that this has a strong momentum, so maybe merit put is better. Right? You can buy stock and buy a put. buy 100 shares of stock and maybe buy one contract of put, depending on your position size. So at least you hedge on the downside, but you're not limited on the upside, right? Selling credit put spread, you're limited on the upside. It's great if you don't see a strong momentum to the upside. But if it rallies 6% a day, then that should be better. Over KMI. Yeah, WMB. I mean, all of this are signals, right? They're all kind of this oil and gas pipelines. Exposure to both oil and gas. WMB looks similar. Looks near. Probably not on something else. Something else, Bob. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, Aniak. Okay. Yeah, okay is very strong price action. This whole sector of oil and gas pipelines is in strong move to the upside. Let's see, STZ. Let's look at STZ earnings. In case you guys are interested in earnings. Not a lot of call. There's a lot of some put buying, 235 strike. So estimated high collection of open interest right below 240. It's small because there's not a lot of volume. So it's only 1 million shares. So not very significant. Not very significant. Okay. Brad, let's look at. So home builders, XLB materials. This is a China story as well, right? Copper in the industrial materials. So you do have a clean breakout. Just remember this, a lot of them are highly correlated to China. So if China does well, there are, copper and materials will move in the same direction. But yes, this is a very strong chart. Clean breakout, home builders, very similar. Metals and miners, so very similar. Obviously, China, strong price action, move to the upside. Industrials, energy. Industrials, yeah, strong rally continues to outperform. REITs slightly pulled back today, consumer discretionary pulling back today, but still close to multi-year high. So I consider discretionary close to 2022 high. Transportation close to 2022 high. So these are all bullish signs. Spiders are flat. QQQ is up 30 basis points. Semiconductors are up 2%. That's about it. Right, let's add KMI. Let's watch KMI. Human mining, right, was another one strong move to the upside. PayPal has been a signal. You can see this kind of a long-term consolidation and trying to break out. So it's been on the news. Oracle, very strong. Triple M pulled back. Tesla, missed delivery estimate, so it's down 4% today. Had a strong rally from September lows. Any other questions on Discord, YouTube? September lows. Any questions on YouTube? Gold and Bitcoin analysis. So there's still a pattern of higher highs and higher lows. I think that trade stays. It's consolidating, but it broke through this long-term support. I mean, overhead resistance, and it's still continued to make new highs. So I'll be a buyer into gold. Bitcoin, I mean, maybe after elections, right? I mean, usually Bitcoin is leading the market. It's been lagging the market, right? It's pulling back today as well. So Bitcoin, it's still in this descending triangle. So until it tried to break through this downtrend, it failed, and it's pulling back. But I mean, obviously 55,000 has been the strong support. So at 55,000, I would be a buyer. At 65,000 seller until we get some kind of a decisive breakout. I mean, it seems like it's going to be probably after elections, maybe after elections. But Bitcoin has been underperforming, right? That's kind of been one bearish signal, right? There's not that many bearish signals when market is close to all-time high, but usually if Bitcoin is weak, market follows that. So I would keep an eye on Bitcoin. It's been a bad week for Bitcoin. Yeah, XLI has been strong. General Electric has been strong. They continue to grind higher. So industrials are still doing well. GE had the long-term consolidation, now finally broke out, and XLI just continues to grind high. Any other questions? Alon, Bob, Brad, Fred, Cool, Ted, thank you for participating. That's all I have for today, unless you guys have questions. I think that's all I have for today, and I will see you guys. Thank you for participating. I will see you tomorrow morning, and then Keith will do the closing bell. Thank you very much, and have a great day.